Happy Sunday. It's me, Drozne, and welcome to my castle. Hey, Editing Amar here, and this Sunday, as you're watching this, it is actually my birthday! And I have a tradition that I do every year where me and my friends get together and we play video games, eat food, and stay up all night until the next day. And I wanted to know what your birthday traditions are. Even if they're not video game related, comment them down below. I really want to know. I'm super curious. Like, growing up as a gamer in Africa, I didn't really have any online gaming friends, so my entire experience gaming was meeting up with people and finding couch co-op games to play together, and that's what really formed this tradition. It's what formed me having this channel about retro games, because retro games, you know, if you play a retro game, it's not going to be online, it's going to be a couch co-op experience, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, this tradition is really important to me, it's really important to this channel, and I want to know what yours are, so leave them down in the comments below. Let me know. Now, this week, we are getting into my gaming origins, baby. This is a little series I want to start where I talk about games that truly began and influenced my entire gaming persona, my gaming journey, just influenced me as a gamer. You know, I just want to talk about my origins and the games that, you know, shaped me into the gamer that I am today. And the first game that I want to talk about in this series is Sonic Heroes. Sonic Heroes is one of the first games I wanted to play when I was a kid, because I played games long before I played Sonic Heroes. I was around 8 years old when Sonic Heroes was a thing. That was around like 2004 when the demo came out, which is the first time I ever played Sonic Heroes actually. So I was pretty young. I was around 8 years old. This would be around 2004 when the game and the demo actually came out. But in actuality, I probably played the game in 2005 or 6, a long time after the game was fully released. I hope I'm not too late. But anyways, this is a game that is really close to my heart, and my two older brothers at the time were the people that got me into Sonic the Hedgehog actually. But they had very good taste, so they tried to get me into the first Sonic the Hedgehog 1, 2, and 3, like the first 3 classic games on the Sega Genesis, and I wasn't really into it because as a little kid, I was really into the cool bright colors, the 3D, the whole new big grand spanking 12 character roster of this new Sonic game that for me was completely brand new at the time. So, you know what? That's enough waffling. Let's get into my thoughts. Let's get into my gaming origins with Sonic Heroes. The only version of Sonic Heroes that I actually played or had access to at this time was the trial version on the PC. This is the only way I could actually have played Sonic Heroes at the time because I didn't have access to the GameCube version, which is the best version, and I also had a GameCube at the time. But there was no video game stores in Malawi at the time that I could have bought Sonic Heroes at. And to be honest, at that time, I think I would have had to order Sonic Heroes from another country or find a way to do that. And at 8 years old, I had no idea online like shopping and ordering was even a thing I could do. It wasn't even a concept to me at the time, I don't think. I'm not 100% sure, but all I knew at the time was if I wanted games, I would have to go to South Africa or to another country. And I mean, look at me now. I'm living in Cape Town. I've been here for the past 5 years. So clearly, video games have influenced me a whole lot, and this game is part of the beginnings of that influence. So anyways, yeah, fun fact, the console versions of the games actually released around January 2004, way before the PC version of the game actually released, and that is also around the time the demo released, which is November 2004. So that demo was actually put out by Sega on their official Sega of America website, and I'm not sure how I got access to the demo. I think it was through the same website, but this was surely a year or two after the game had been fully released, because I had seen so much footage of the game that was clearly not in the demo. And onto what's in the demo. The PC's demo, well, the trial version, because I don't think they called it the trial version on the console demos, but the trial version on PC had one level, Seaside Hill. As a kid, I don't remember it having just one level. Like, I remember the opening theme song and the opening cutscene. I remember the song for Seaside Hill, of course. I remember the song for the opening cutscene. Like, those are burned into my brain. I just assumed that there was a lot more in the demo than just Seaside Hill. I thought Ocean Palace was also at least in there, but no. Like, I swear I have memories of these other levels, but I guess that's just memories of my first time playing it, mashed and bundled in with my teenage years when I actually got access to emulation and the GameCube version, because my GameCube stopped working, like, not shortly after I got it. So, like, yeah, I never really, and even if it didn't stop working, it's not like I could buy GameCube games even when I was a teenager. So emulation was really the first way I experienced the full game, the GameCube version, which is the best version. And yeah, I'm just kind of, what was the point I was making? I want to say though, the demo disc, I now have found out, the demo disc for the GameCube actually had another level in it. So it had Seaside Hill with Team Sonic, and it also had Bullet Station with Team Dark. Yes, it had Bullet Station with Team Dark, which was a very hard level, because I also don't know if you know this, Sonic Heroes kind of set up their difficulty in a weird way. Like, in their character selection screen, it doesn't really show it. I'm not sure where it says this, maybe in the game manual, but Team Rose or Team Amy is easy. Then Team Sonic is supposed to be like normal. Then Team Dark is meant to be hard, and I think Team Chaotix is meant to be like a fourth special difficulty or an other mode where you do a collectathon within the levels that you played previously as the other teams. At least that's how it felt to me, because I hated Team Chaotix's playthroughs and levels. But yeah, that's a story for another day when I do go into the full game. But on to more of like my experience with the first game. I remember playing it only with a mouse and keyboard on a big, like, you know, remember those PC monitors with the big fat ass? And I was playing it on one of those with a huge desktop tower that was also like this cream white. Everything was like cream white and like rounded at the time. I don't know why. But that was the futuristic design of everything. And I remember playing it on that, and it just absorbed every little bit of my being. I was so curious about this world. I was so curious about every little nook and cranny of the place. Like, I wondered why the robots were there. If Eggman built this place, I wondered if, like, why his robots are there, why Sonic and his team are there. And I guess this is important for the story, because Sega clearly wants you to ask these questions, because this is a demo. Demos, at the end of the day, are made to sell a product. So me being so curious about every single little aspect of what was going on, I guess is the intention. But I was just so absorbed, because I wanted to know everything about this game. And at that point, I just had this one little snapshot that I could play over and over and over and over again. I got really good at Seaside Hill, like way too good for an 8-year-old to be at that game. And then eventually I got extremely bored and moved on to other Sonic games, which is when I really got into my brother's suggestion of playing the first, second, and third Sonic games, which, I'm not gonna lie, I also played a lot. I surely played that Sonic Heroes demo way more, but because these were full games that I could finish, I really got absorbed into them, and I really want to make a video about Sonic the Hedgehog 3. Because out of those 3 Sonic games, I never really attached myself to the first Sonic game at that age, because little 8-year-old me was really into Super Sonic. I was really into the cool idea that they had of collecting Chaos Emeralds, and if you got all 6 or 7 of them, you could become a super-powered, invincible version, and it's basically like having the superstar power-up the entire time, or like, I guess, I don't know what it's called. Well, it's also a star animation in Sonic, but I was referring to the superstar in Mario. But in Sonic, I'm not sure where it's called, but like, you know, here's what it looks like. Anyways, it's like having that power up the entire level, and obviously for a little 8-year-old, having a button that's basically, hey, when you have 50 rings, just jump twice and you can have this power up forever, basically, as long as you keep having rings. And I think I remember finishing Sonic the Hedgehog 2. Not at that exact time. It took me like a year or so after playing Sonic the Hedgehog 2, and I think my much older cousin was there, and he helped me finish it. Because I kept on dying, and I was using save states the entire time. Like, save states was a thing I was very intimately aware of because I emulated all of these games. I did not have a Sega Genesis, so I was using save states for Sonic 1, 2, and 3 for all of my playthroughs from the beginning. So I was used to just saving and then pressing like F1 or F4 to like save the save state and then F5 to load the save state. So I would save the save state, go into like a boss with one ring and just keep like saving right before and loading and saving right before, and that is how I beat Sonic 2 with just one ring at such a young age. I think Sonic 2, if I'm honest, was my real jump into the 2D Sonic games if I'm really thinking back on it, because as I remember, it was also 2-player, and I would play as Tails a lot because I liked flying. And that was a smart thing, to make player 2 a character that could fly around and kind of have an easier time playing a Sonic game, and then player 1 is Sonic, someone who knows what they're doing and knows how to actually go fast and play the game. And I was too young to kind of grasp how to be good at Sonic just yet. You know, in my early times, like at my first times playing Sonic 2, but what hooked me was the 2-player. I loved being Tails. To this day, I love playing as Luigi. In Cuphead, I play as Mugman. Like, I've always identified as player 2, because to me, player 2 has always been the cooler character to play as. Because from my young 8-year-old perspective, being Tails was so cool, because I could fly, Sonic couldn't. I could go places Sonic couldn't. I could carry Sonic places Sonic couldn't get to. I felt useful. I just didn't feel like I was a useless player 2, which is what most of my experiences were with early Nintendo in games that I really wanted multiplayer. For example, Mario Galaxy was a game I remember from my childhood where I obviously couldn't play it at a very young age, but I remember seeing it at other friends' houses or getting chances to play it, and I remember in those experiences, I wanted to be player 2, but player 2 was just a cursor. That was my first time experiencing player 2 not being something really cool, and I guess that's the stereotype. Player 2 isn't the cool character, everyone wants to be player 1. But that was my first time kind of like experiencing it firsthand in Mario Galaxy 2, being like, oh, player 2 is not anything. Like, I can't really do anything but help you, player 1, collect like stars. I don't feel like I'm doing much else aside from helping you collect currency as you play the game. You know what I mean? And like, they're getting a bit better with it. Like, Donkey Kong Bonanza on the Switch 2 that just released. That's an example I like. Because Pauline is a similar thing. You would think because you use the mouse to control Pauline, she's just collecting stuff for Donkey Kong. But then I saw she can shoot stuff, she can copy materials, she can help you defeat bosses. She makes the game actually dramatically easier by having her there with you. And I feel that is a cool thing for player 2 to have, to feel useful, to feel that they can make this experience easier for player 1, because at the end of the day, the person you're sitting next to playing a game with, you care about, and you want them to succeed in anything. And right now, in this activity you're doing together, you can help them succeed, and that's obviously going to make you feel good, and I just feel like that connection just isn't there anymore. And I like fighting for that connection in my personal life. I love couch co-op, I love playing a game in a room with somebody, I love, even with Fortnite, an entirely online game, I like to play it in the room with other people, with my friends. I even have videos on my channel, little shorts on my channel, of me and my friend Liam playing Fortnite together, sitting right next to each other. I'm playing on my Switch 2, looking at the TV, he's playing on his laptop right there, and we're sitting next to each other because to me, I like to share these experiences with my friends and my loved ones and people around me. And just people that want to play games, you know, I just like sharing that in person. And I feel like that fact also is what got me into Sonic, into gaming, into becoming a YouTuber who talks about games. And yeah, I don't know, I just feel like there's something special. There's something special there because of that. There's something special in that connection gaming had and still kind of has, because couch co-op hasn't died. There's something special in that connection that gaming has between people. I don't know what I'm trying to say there. I guess what I'm trying to say is it's really cool that gaming can connect people in this way. And I want to share that with the world, you know? I want other people to connect in this way over video games because I have made such good friendships and relationships through local games and playing games together, and I just want to share that with the world. So, yeah. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. Now, before we move on, I just wanted to get into a few of the console differences that there are between the various versions of Sonic Heroes across the GameCube, PS2, Xbox, and PC. And there aren't really that many differences, but there are differences that I just did not know about that you guys might not know about too. But I feel like the general consensus on the internet is that the GameCube version is the definitive version of the game. It runs at 60 FPS. It has extra shaders added to make it look better on the GameCube hardware. It also has anti-flickering software, or hardware. I'm not sure what anti-flickering is exactly, but the way it was explained to me is that it's kind of like wiggly lines on the screen, like fences and grass in the distance will look like it's weirdly glitching or dancing almost. And anti-flickering kind of just helps sharpen out all those edges and gives you a really clear image. And I don't think the other versions had that on the Xbox or on the PlayStation 2, but that is something that was noted to be a difference between the versions. As well as, you know, the load times are actually quite good on the GameCube as well. It's just known as the best version, as I've seen. The Xbox version is a close second, as well as the PC version, which seems to be just a copy and paste of the Xbox version, just ported over to PC. However, there are some glitches that are not present in the Xbox version that are in the PC version. And also, people have noted that like the sound effects are just louder on the PC version, as well as some other but like, yeah, the PC version is not perfect. However, the Xbox version did have 3D audio. It ran at 60 FPS, not the entire time though. There was some dips and ups and downs in the frame rate noticed for the Xbox version. And I feel like everyone also knows this, but the PS2 version was just not good. Like, it was 30 FPS sometimes. And the loading times on that one were just terrible. It was just not good. It was not good, y'all. It was boot nasty, gutter boots, bottom of the barrel ass type game. Also, the Xbox version had language settings. You could toggle the language in the Xbox and I think in the PC version. You could not do that in the GameCube version. The GameCube version, I feel like you had to buy the Japanese version to play it in Japanese, and you had to buy the English version to play it in English. But on the PS2, they just didn't have an option to change languages at all. I don't know what it is. Maybe they did have an option to change languages on the GameCube, but they didn't note that. I didn't see that noted anywhere, at least in my research. But yeah. Now, I feel like we've done more than enough waffling. So, without further ado, let us get into the game that shaped me into the gamer that I am today. Let's play a little bit of it together. You know, because you know I love a let's play, you know I love a little play moment, so let's see how good I am at this demo level, this first demo level in Sonic Heroes. Let's go. Hey y'all. Let's go, girls. Now I have a little camera showing off my controller so that you guys can see that I am in fact playing this on an authentic controller, on a GameCube controller, my darling, my angels. So let's get into it. The Sonic Heroes trial version. Oh, that song. Listen to that song. Oh, I need to watch this. I'm sorry, you guys. Oh my god. You have no idea how many times I saw this, you guys. Seeing Tails do that, by the way, you see Player 2 doing the most. Player 2 doing the most. And I know I talked about Player 2 like being like, you know, someone I really identified with. I feel like Knuckles was the first time that I like soloed a game because I played Sonic 3, which is I feel like why I love Sonic 3 so much. It made me feel independent because I was playing as Knuckles and I could glide and climb walls and I didn't need to help Sonic. I didn't need to like go fast like him. I felt Tails was so attached to Sonic. So when I had this third character unattached to either of them, Sonic's rival, and I could play as him and he could climb walls, do cool things, go to different parts of the level. Loved it, needed more of it, and seeing all three of them together as a team, as Team Sonic. This cool, amazing rendition of Metal Sonic. Oh my god. At the time, I didn't even know that was Metal Sonic. I thought that was a whole other thing. I didn't know anything about the story at as a young kid at the time, actually. Now knowing the full story, I kind of like it. Oh, Sonic Heroes, baby. The nostalgia of this game hits. It eats. And I just pressed start and it immediately just takes you straight into the gameplay. Straight into the gameplay. Also, because this is not the GameCube version, the controls are a little different, just to illustrate. So this button now is what changes your character. I know it says Y and B up there, but this button is now what changes your character. And then this button, Y, on the GameCube controller is now what does your little like boost jot up thing. But it also changed, oh wait, no, we just changed because that's who she is. But it will do your attack. You see, Y will now do your attack. X does nothing. A is jump still, at least, and B is, okay, B at least does what it says on the screen, which is swap your character. And then this button, I guess, is considered Y, but okay, work. Sonic is my favorite character. My least favorite setup to play as was always flying. Then second least favorite was, Second least favorite was always the power, and then I loved playing as Speed. I don't like being anything else. I'm sorry. The others are just not the T. They're just not the T. They're not eating or giving. Oh wait, X did not do what it said. Oh, so okay. There we go. Slay Tina Boots. Okay. Let's use the power character. Let's go. Yeah, see, this is why I want to play the GameCube version, because I'm trying to do GameCube inputs, because that's the version I've most recently played, and it's not GameCube inputting. Okay, cool. So what? X is now Y. Okay, you two have swapped for some ungodly reason. Some reason that is against the Lord. Yeah, oh, yes. Come on, yes, Queen. Team Blast. So I guess, considering now that, I guess Team Blast should be this. Oh, it is that. So that's where Z would be on a GameCube controller. So Z and B do what they say on screen. It's just Y and X that are swapped. But yeah, I never knew what he said in those parts. Is he saying Shivra? Shivra, big air? Shivra, big air! Shit, rock, big air. I think that's what he's saying. Oh, I did a bad thing. I regret the thing that I did. Oh goodness. Yes, Queen. Where are you taking us? Where are we going? I've never been here before. I've not been here before. I cannot change the camera around though. I've not been here before. This is a section I've not seen. Interesting. Oh, yes. Bam. Boop, bap, bam. Yes, Sonic is now all powerful, and I have to change someone else. I don't like. Oh, I thought I was gonna die, y'all. I thought I was gonna die. In a game I played this often, that'd be embarrassing. Are you not embarrassed? Are you not embarrassed? This is very embarrassing. Yes, Queen. You better work, bitch. I need to level up Knuckles. I keep trying to press B. Okay, cool. Let's go. Oh my gosh. Yes. Ooh. I also do not remember that. Is this level slightly different? Did they make this level big? Oh, I have to use you and attack them with Thunder Shoot, and then use Sonic, because I'm not wasting my time using Knuckles. Fell to my death quickly. Oh, the amount of time I've spent on this beach. Oh, the amount of time Eggman probably spends on this beach. This is the beach he lounges at as these robots feed him drinks. I'm telling y'all, why are his robots here? My theory when I was 8 was correct. It was right. Yes, Queen. You better work. Oh, yes. Here we go. Woo! Yes. But now I need to fly out of here. You see, I would love to always like power up my characters. For those of you who don't know, if you can see there in the corner, each of these characters have 3 little white balls next to them. Those represent their level. They're level 1, 2, or 3, and that changes their attacks and how they move about the stage and all of that biznaz. I always love leveling them all up because it makes them feel actually useful for once. Especially Sonic, who can like one-shot these guys, and like also Tails, who can also one-shot them when he's fully leveled. But then when you die, it takes that away, which is like, so like it's like Minecraft where you start all from the beginning and you have to level up all over again. But if you get to the end of the level with all of your level ups, it like heightens your score. You see, he doesn't do that all the time. And those things explode and like blow up other guys. Like they level up and it's so cool. That was one of the coolest aspects to me, was the fact that the characters like changed during the game. It gave a use to them being different. They should make a Sonic Heroes 2. Come on, you guys. Sonic Heroes 2. When's it coming? When's it happening? We need a second game. Yes. Woo-hoo-hoo! Yes! Oh my gosh, this makes me want to play the whole game again. This level is so big, I see why they chose it to be the demo level. It's so grand and bombastic. Bombastic! Oh, this part! I remember this part! Mama, this is so cool. Oh, I will, baby. Boom, bop, beam, boom, bam. You know the shit I'm on, you nigga don't understand. Ooh, can I? Yes! Yes! Ooh, yee. And then this is where I would always use the team attack. I would always use it here, even though I do not need to, because there's not that many enemies. I wonder if you get more points for doing it, though. Yes, queen. Also, I always wondered, why is the end of the level here and then this giant hole? Like, where does this giant hole even go? Like, why is it here? Where does it lead to? Oh, it's just here so you can get it. Reward you for exploring. I like that. Wow. Yes. Let's see the score. Mission clear. Dun, dun, dun. Ooh. 7 minutes, yo. That's a long time. Ooh. Yeah, C is not good. Thanks for playing. Bare bones, baby. They have a title screen. They literally have this title screen, that title screen, and the cutscene, and the one level. That's it. They said we're not putting anything else into this downloadable version that's gonna be online. Nothing. Because this was like back in the 2000s. They didn't want the file to be too big, I guess. Because people were gonna be downloading it from Sega's website. But damn! Bare bones, mama. Bare bones. But you know what? That's a good place to end. In conclusion, you guys, if you've watched this far, thank you for joining me on my journey, going back into my gaming origins. This game is so important to me. This song I'm hearing in my ears right now is so important to me. It made me into the gamer I am today. Without this game, I would not be sitting here in front of you. I swear to you. And every single game I cover in this series is that is the case. I would not be sitting here without those games. So I am going to continue this series next week, or next time I get back into this series. I will be talking about my love for Sonic the Hedgehog 3. However, I will be using not the original version that I emulated. I will be using Sonic 3 Air. Sonic 3 Air is a modified version of that game that really tries to not only modernize the game, but add in things that were not in every single version of the game, like the original Michael Jackson soundtrack, or if you want to listen to the soundtrack that they made after that to replace Michael Jackson's soundtrack, sure, but it's there. You can mod that version. It's widescreen, one of the modernizations. It's just the best way to experience Sonic the Hedgehog 3, and that is the way I'm going to show it to you guys, because the wonderful modding community behind Sonic 3 Air deserves to be celebrated. And I'm gonna celebrate them the next episode of this series. So you better stay subscribed and stay tuned. And if you aren't subscribed, why not? If you want to see me talk about the next video game in this video game origin series, how come you aren't subscribed? Like, what's going on there? Let's unpack that. Let's have that conversation. But seriously, if you've been here this long, please subscribe to my channel. I just need 1,000 subscribers to be able to get monetized and make this into my job, and I would love to have my dream job be my job. So please, 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 please hit the subscribe button. Send this to another friend of yours. Tell them to hit the subscribe button. And tell them to tune in every single Sunday to see this gorgeous little face talk about cool retro games. Thank you so much, and have a lovely Sunday. Bye.